The one major thing that really created the fan division within the sequel trilogy itself that was really created by J.J., Ryan, and Kathleen Kennedy was, of course, the mistreatment of the character of Luke Skywalker himself, of course, and how he was utilized in The Last Jedi, and how they really tried to really kind of set things straight in The Rise of Skywalker that did not necessarily work. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars updates. Also, by the way, guys, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support. It is greatly appreciated. Now, that's what we all love about John and Dave for, is the fact that they have been really taking great care with Luke in not just Mando Season 2, but also in, of course, the Book of Boba Fett, and what they have on the horizon with upcoming new Star Wars projects. Now, Mark Hamill has been, a little bit silent recently, for a good month or month and a half or so. He's been a little bit more talkative the past number of weeks now, talking more about John and Dave's ambitions and what direction they want to go in order to really treat this character in a more respectful manner. You know, when we look at what Disney did with him in the sequels, it just was not right. I mean, we have a lot of Hollywood producers out there even agreeing with the fans, that they really mistreated the character. So it's not just the fans saying this, it's other Hollywood producers out there that are actually saying that, yeah, Disney really messed up with that. So on to the big thing here of what Mark Hamill recently had to say about John and Dave's big plan for Luke Skywalker and exactly what's in store for, of course, future Mandalorian seasons and other Star Wars shows at hand. Now, we already know that Mark Hamill has a lot of work on his plate between himself, FAVREAU, and Filoni. However, with actor Mark Hamill recently having many conversations with John and Dave about the future of his involvement in Star Wars as Luke and what path they actually want to go in, Hamill was recently questioned about his conversations with John and Dave and what fans can expect for Luke in future Mando seasons. Now, Hamill went on to state the following to the community. What John and Dave are putting together, I can absolutely confirm that fans are going to go wild and lose it when they see what they are doing with Luke in future shows that we are crafting every single day. I usually touch base with them once a week on their plans, and then, of course, I can actually promise now, everyone, without over-exaggerating, that they are going to provide fans the most powerful version of Luke Skywalker that has ever been seen before. They even had a chat with my son, Nathan, who knows so much about Legends and used his knowledge, too, in order to get a fan's perspective on Luke and how he should be. Let me just pause here quick for a second. I think that this is fantastic. The fact that John and Dave had a very long discussion with Mark Hamill's son, Nathan Hamill. I don't know if you guys know Nathan, but Nathan knows every little minor detail about Star Wars Legends. I mean, this is like the fan of the fans of Star Wars, alright? So Nathan Hamill's like the guy. The fact that John and Dave had a very long chat with him and how Nathan told them personally how Luke should be in future shows, this just ensures that Luke is now fully in good hands. And I think that, and I wouldn't doubt that, a lot of John and Dave's creatives, or creative ambitions are really coming from Nathan Hamill at the end of the day. So, when you look at something like this, of how Mark Hamill is putting it out there, that they are talking about this every single week, how he touches base with them once a week on all of their ambitions and plans, and how we are about to witness the most powerful version of Luke in the entire Star Wars history that we have ever seen. So that's another thing to look forward to, is that they are going to really advance the character of Luke. They're going to really evolve him, so to speak, give him a brand new level that we have never actually witnessed before, not just in Legends, but also in Star Wars canon. So on to the next thing here that I think is very crucial of what Mark Hamill says, alright? He goes on to actually put this forward, is that, let me tell you, they are going to be delivering some unique powers that you may have never seen before in the Star Wars franchise at all. Some of the stuff they have told me is just something that makes me feel like a kid again, and my son completely endorsed John and Dave's ideas. Now, we're going to tap into exactly what those powers are because we already know some of the storyboard descriptions for Mando 4 and what Jon and Dave have planned for that particular season, which, by the way, is going to heavily feature Luke Skywalker. As for Mando Season 3, Pedro Pascal said there's going to be a lot of surprises in there as well, a lot of very interesting cameos, so to speak, so that's another thing to look forward to as well. But this specifically, I think, is going to really set the stage. I think that we could very well have a big impact that Mando Season 2 had back in December of, I think it was 2020. We could very well have something big like that again, where Luke reaches a new level that you have never seen. You know, we never got to see Luke do the stuff that he did in Mando Season 2 prior to that. You know, we never saw him, like, going fast-paced, using a saber in a hallway and taking down things one by one, or using that force, you know, crush ability. We've never really seen that in that perspective. So they're going to take it to the next level, and in a very big way, is what Mark Hamill is confirming. On to the next thing, of course. Now, aside from what Hamill stated here, this all alludes to Luke using monumental powers in Mando 4, to which one, of course, of two storyboards also unveiled Luke taking down a Star Destroyer for a flashback scene on Jakku, and the other of which of him moving mountains on the world of Ossus to change the terrain for his Jedi Temple. Both of these have been finalized for the script already. Now, the fact that they are going to be taking elements from Starkiller from the Force Unleashed video games, so you guys may recall that Starkiller does use that ability to take down a Star Destroyer, and moving mountains, alright? This was actually done a little bit, you know, through some characters in Star Wars Legends as well, and they're going to utilize that in The Mandalorian Season 4. This could absolutely explain why the terrain looks different in The Last Jedi flashbacks and in the Book of Boba Fett, both of which, by the way, the Jedi Temple, it's the same location. That's confirmed. So that could very well explain why the terrain looks a little bit different there, why the mountains are in different areas of the actual background. So Jon and Dave really are taking different levels to go through. Whether or not this is going to resonate with fans, like I always say, it all depends on execution. How it's written, what kind of music they choose to go over this scene. I mean, there's a lot of things that make a scene feel very emotional. It's not just what Luke is going to do. It's also going to use music, cinematography, angles, you know, all that stuff. All of which is going to be combined and hopefully used in a manner where this could very well mark itself down as one of the most legendary moments that Luke has in Star Wars history in live-action form, right? So, Jon and Dave, I think that they really are raising the bar here. Mark Hamill's putting it out there as well. Nathan Hamill, I think, is a blessing to all of this, too. So anyways, guys, you know, drop a comment below. Let me know what you guys have to say about all this below in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.